Morning. Hi, good morning, everyone. So thrilled to welcome everyone today to our Clementine Com YouTube channel. I'm welcoming you to this Connection Privee, which normally is an offline event. We are changing the format this year to the current climate out there. For those who don't know me, I'm Clémence de Crécy. I'm the MD, founder and director of Clementine Communication, luxury PR agency based in central London. Close to me today, my two TV co-presenter, we've got Catherine and Josh, and they'll be leading us through this entire session. We will be keeping it short and brief. We are introducing you today to 7 different brands. First one lined up is Chateau de Pommard. We're speaking to the CEO, Michael Bohn, like from France. Moving on to Franciacorta in Italy, followed by Cramele Recas in Romania. Moving on to Wildlife Botanical in the no-low category. Keeping on onto this no-low category, we're speaking to small beer, followed by Gibson Goodology, and last but not least, the very talented 2 master chef, the Spicemen and Cyrus Anthony Singh. Let's get going, I guess, Cass.
Yeah, let's do it. Thanks, Clem. So hi, everyone. So kicking off today is Chateau de Pommard, a fine wine estate in Burgundy, owned by the tech guru and ex-Silicon Valley entrepreneur, Michael Baum. Michael purchased the estate with his wife, Judy Carabello, in 2014 with a vision to turn it into biodynamic viticulture and a mission to create exceptional cuvées. Welcome, Michael. How are you?
Good. How are you all?
Good.
Very good.
Thank you. Tell us a little about Chateau de Pommard.
Sorry?
Tell us a
I
little
missed you
about
there.
Chateau de Pommard.
A little bit about Chateau de Pommard, of course. Chateau de Pommard is a very historic, iconic property in France. It is located in the heart of the Côte d'Or, which is the heart of Burgundy, of course. We are in the Côte de Beaune, in the south part of the Côte d'Or, in the village of Pommard, which has amazingly 632 people. And 200 winemakers. So everyone in the town makes wine, if you can imagine. The dentist, the mayor, everyone. We have 20 hectares there at the Clos Monge, which is our main vineyard. It's a very old vineyard. The vines are anywhere from 30 to 130 years old. And we make Pinot Noir, of course, in Pommard. But we make 30 different cuvées, red and white, from all over Burgundy.
Amazing. And Michael, what is your Christmas offering?
My Christmas offering? Well, we always think it's a nice thing at the end of the year when people are enjoying some good gourmet food, perhaps doing some cooking on their own, maybe a lot more this year, with people staying at home more. So we have dipped back into our archives and put together a vintage collection of our Clos Monge wines, our flagship cuvée from Pommard. This is a collection of either 3 or 6 bottles, going back as far as 2011. And it's quite an exceptional thing in India and quite rare to be able to taste multiple years of the same cuvée next to each other. Burgundy is a wine region which I think attracts people like me who are terroir purists and really want to make terroir-driven wines, because it is, for example, illegal to water vines in France if you are in an appellation origin of control, a classified wine region. So we get very different weather in Burgundy every year. It is a pure continental climate. We're at the 47th north parallel. And we get a full 4 seasons. We get very different summers and falls every year, which means the cuvée, the same cuvée in different vintages will be significantly different. It might be more fruit forward. It might be more earthy and mushroom if we have it a colder year. And it's really fantastic with the vintage collection to see the difference that Mother Nature gives us every year.
Fantastic. What a great offering.
And I think we've got a box actually to show you. Where?
Yeah, we package this in a beautiful gift box shipped directly from the estate. We ship our wines all over the world, and we ship them overnight to clients in the UK, of course. The other thing that makes the Cramele Recas wine quite exceptional is it is a natural wine. We are an organic certified property today. We are in the conversion to biodynamic farming, which will be complete in our certification next year. So if you can imagine visiting us, you will see horses only plowing the fields. There are no tractors doing this kind of work. We're working everything by hand, no chemicals used in farming or making the wines. So it's really, for somebody who is seeking a very pure experience of how wines differ in different years with the same cuvee, it's a really interesting offering. But the wine is only half of the offering. The other very important offering, part of the offering, is the experience. Now, we know that many people cannot travel to Burgundy this year because of COVID. We also know during the holidays is not the most convenient time for people to travel to Burgundy. If you happen to visit us at the Chateau, you can take our Cramele Recas Vintage Experience, where one of our WSET, that's the Wine and Spirit Education Trust certified wine advisors, will take you through biodynamic farming, organic winemaking, and what was happening each year. We made each one of these cuvées in the vintage collection to really give you an understanding of how Mother Nature affects what's in the glass. Of course, if you can't come visit us at the Chateau, we are now offering this online. We have welcomed more than 4,000 clients to our online experiences since the lockdown started in March. And we're extending this into the holiday season for the Cramele Recas Vintage Experience. So if you want, you can come right to chateaudepommard.com and you can book an online experience with us. It's a super fun thing to do. I did it for my mom's birthday 2 weeks ago. My mother's in Philadelphia with my father. My sister's in New York. My brother's in Boston. My wife is in California. And it was an amazing way to get everyone together, take our minds off this crazy, ness that's happening in the world today, and just enjoy a little bit of family time. And I should say that the six of us hadn't been together in almost 2 years. So it was a wonderful way to share some time together.
Oh, sure. And I guess you will be back to the States very soon, I hear.
I am attempting again to go back this Saturday. So I have high hopes my flight won't be canceled again. But we'll only be back for a few weeks, and then I will be back in Pommard for the vendange, for the harvest, at the end of August, beginning of September.
Very much, thank you. One last question. So all of those beautiful experiences are available to book on your website at chateaudepommard.com. Before we close this session, I know you're brewing and cooking something really exciting to launch at the end of September. We can't tell too much, but do you want to sort of give us a bit of an overview of what's happening with Vivant?
Yeah, so Vivant is our new digital offering that we'll be launching in Q4. And in fact, right now I am in Angers-sur-Mer in the Loire wine region in France. And it's a beautiful, beautiful place. We just finished tasting some incredible Chenin Blanc. And these are all, we're working all with organic and biodynamic wine producers around the world to connect them digitally with conscious consumers that really want to enjoy these kinds of wines.
Super. Thanks ever so much. Thanks, Michael. We'll let you go, but thank you so much for joining us again.
Okay. Thanks for having me.
Ciao. Moving on swiftly to our lovely second client joining us today from somewhere else in the world.
Exactly. So now we head to Italy and to the stunning Franciacorta region, which creates Italy's famous sparkling wine and tantalizes our taste buds with its exquisite cuisine. We will hear from Silvano Brescianini, the president of the 30-year-old Consorzio, who himself has his own vineyard.
Yeah.
And Federico, assistant sommelier.
Sorry, we have a bit of a giggle there. From 67 Pommard. Hi guys, how are you?
Nice to see you. I'm fine. Finally, I see you. hopefully I will see you soon at the club and in London.
I know it's reopened, so it's really good to have you. And Silvano, the president of the consortium, thank you very much. I guess you're live from the region.
Ciao, hello everybody. Buongiorno.
Ciao, ciao. Thank you very much for both for joining us.
Yes, exactly. So Federico, Silvano. So Federico, back in a sec. Silvano, for those who don't know the region, tell us more about the beautiful Franciacorta.
Okay, yes, Franciacorta is in north of Italy, in Lombardy, just in the middle between Verona and Milano. And it's a small region where the north border is the Lago di Iseo Lake Sellino. And on the east part is the city of Brescia, and the south of the Monte Orfano, which is a single mountain, and on the west, the Oglio River. 3,000 hectares, more than 60% is organic, 117 producers, small region, great quality, where we produce, we think, we believe, the best sparkling wine in Italy. Grape are mostly Chardonnay, 80%, Pinot Noir, 15%, and Pinot Bianco. The rules, the law for the Franciacorta production is the law who give us opportunity to produce the quantity for bottle for hectare, the bottle for hectare, lower quantity than Europe, and the time for aging for the second fermentation in bottle, the longer than all other EU region. So Franciacorta is the name of the region and also the name of the wine. The words became from the Latin franca curtes, who the meaning was like a tax-free area, or in Latin, franca free. We were run by the monks in 11th century, and these monks get the right to not pay the tax to the Bishop of Brescia, and that's why we were, unfortunately not now anymore, a tax-free area. But as often happens in Italy, the history about wine here is very, very important and very, very old. We have also just published a book, interpretation, explanation of a couple of books written in during the Rinascimento in 16th century, where local doctors and agronomists already explain the tradition of the noble family in Franciacorta to enjoy and chase with bubble wines in 1570. Which is good. It's great.
Very good. And I hear that obviously the region is only an hour and a half from people. I mean, we've got people from throughout the world, watching us today, but from London, it's only an hour and a half flight, isn't it, in normal time?
Yes, absolutely.
Could be your getaway for the weekend. I know obviously the climate is a very important thing in the region. You've got a beautiful Lake Iseo, which brings so much to the area. Is the lake open now back to the public? You know, I've been lucky to go on a boat tour of this beautiful lake. How is the region at the moment?
Yes, the lake is open, and also restaurant and bar are open. You know, Italy was the first country involved in this nightmare called virus, COVID-19. But now the situation is good. We are free to go everywhere, and also the mask is not always necessary. Even the travel, the number are very, very low. So I'm confident we're doing well. About the weather, yes, the lake is always important. Water is always important, talking about the weather in winemaking, wine viticulture. And also for us, the Iseo Lake brings fresh wind from Bacca Monica, from the Alps valley in summer, and in spring, a warm wind in order to avoid the frost, and they normally works. The last 10 years, every year is different, and we have vintage like 2014 were very fresh and with a lot of rain, and summer like 2015 very dry and hot. So every year is different.
Every year is different. And I know we could talk to you for hours, Silvano. So thank you so much for joining us live, because I know you are extremely busy at the moment. And I know obviously as a consortium, as an appellation, you can't really talk of one brand more than another. But back to Federico, perhaps you could tell us a little bit more about some of the style of the wine from Franciacorta, and what do they match with? What's your favorite recipe to go with some of these wines?
Definitely, yes. After coming at the Chateau de Pommard, we are talking about similar grape variety, but as we know, is a metal traditional, so second fermentation in the bottle. And in this case, I like to start with this beautiful rosé from Franciacorta, from Brew, which is actually 60% Pinot Noir, as we can see, and 40% Chardonnay, full honest skin color. Characteristic of the rosé is minimum for vintage 2015, quite rich and warm, beautiful florality. As I say, 60% Pinot Noir, 5 months on the lees, which actually this auto lees aroma, this butternut squash, vanilla, creaminess, but this beautiful florality on the nose, that the recurrent raspberry that comes from the rich and the backbone of the wine. Pinot Noir, so beautiful variety, acidity that comes from the hills of the Iseo Lake again, and the type of Chardonnay brings usual this elegant and citrus and lime aroma. Another thing that is of Franciacorta is and the word suggests is silk, is seta, so brings this silkiness to the wine, this richness, but soft aroma. Chardonnay, Blanc de Blanc, with a touch of Pinot Blanc, really important grape in Franciacorta, which add this jasmine aroma, this quality, and body and texture to the wine. In this case, is more so 24 months on the lees. Again, you can feel this aromatic component from brioche, butternut, the gentle balance with the fresh Chardonnay. For the pairing, I like, for example, the to pairing with definitely some nice creamy mushroom risotto, some seafood as well. I like as well when I pair it with Thai food, with the honey, which cuts through the sweetness of the honey on and the sweetness. And the from satin, for example, with a nice seafood, there's aperitif with oyster, with the caviar, with the beautiful seafood aromas, and the refreshing, because the Chardonnay brings up the elegance of the wine. So for a rosé, something a bit cutting through the great freshness. From the Chardonnay, satin stuff a bit softness, something like seafood, maybe some pan-fried scallop.
Nice. My gosh, it's lunchtime now over here. So salivate there. Thank you so much. And I guess, Federico, you work for, once again, 67 Pall Mall, which is a private club in central London. So I guess if everybody wants to drink a Franciacorta, they can go to 67 and they come and talk to you, and you can tell them everything about the region.
As I come actually from Franciacorta. So
here we go, on top of it, exactly. Ciao, and thank you very much to both of you for joining us live today.
Thank you.
Very good. Thanks again. So moving on to our lovely third clients of today. We, again, changing country completely. We're remaining within the wine world. I can see our Christmas tree there shining behind us. It's brilliant. And we, Josh, can you tell us who you're speaking to now?
So we are going further east. We're going to Romania to our lovely client, Cramele Recas. Recas was founded in 1998 by Philip Cox and his wife Elvira, and it's the largest exporter of wine from the country. So we're being joined by Matt Johnson, who is here to talk us through Cramele Recas' wonderful selection. Hi Matt, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. You guys?
Yes,
good. Excellent, excellent.
Wonderful. So you're here to talk us through Recas's kind of Christmas offerings. So I think I'll let you explain it.
Sure. So I'm delighted today to present to you guys 3 beautiful wines from our winery, All three wines really over-deliver on quality and value for money. We've got 2 wines from Waitrose. One, the Secorva Pinot Grigio, Secorva Pinot Noir, both at $7.79 at the moment, reduced down to $5.84. And you have a bottle already. I'll show you the white while you're doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're going to do the Incanter as well from Majestic. Just that one there. So a little bit about these wines. The Incanter is $7.99 on a buy 6, but on normal price, and on a $5.99 buy 6. So I'm gonna, because it's past midday, beauty. I'm not going to spit this out because I'll probably make a mess anyway. So the Secorva Pinot Grigio from Waitrose. It's incredibly juicy on the nose, very fresh, very clean. Like I said before, great value for money as well. It's $7.79 or $5.84 as it is on 25% off currently. It's a wine that really does over-deliver. Fresh, clean, fruity, lots of lemon, a little bit of spice there on the finish as well. Good acidity, lovely balance. Excellent with food. This will match lighter dishes, really. Probably lighter pasta dishes, unlike Franciacorta, which is right up there with a lot richer stuff. And the wines before, the Pommards, wow. This is a different end of the spectrum, but very, very approachable, very drinkable, very easy. I hate to keep saying it, but very, very easy drinking. So that was the Secorva Pinot Grigio. Going to do the Pinot Noir now. Take that one away. There we are. A waste, but there you go. I've spilt some of that. Hasn't hit the laptop though, so that's fine. So very light, as you can see. Very light indeed. Can you see that? There you go. Very light indeed. Oh, beautiful on the nose. Lots of berries, lots of fruit again. Brimming with red berries, I think you would say, basically. Again, massively over-delivers. Great fruity, easy drinking wine again, medium tannins, lovely fresh finish, and exactly what we're looking for, really, with wine from Romania.
Any dishes that would go with, Matt?
Dishes that would go with. Let me check. Let me think. Well, basically, again, it's got enough richness to match most foods. Personally, grilled steak, that kind of thing. So probably, a grilled steak with some salad maybe would be ideal. Not heavy enough to go with something with a big rich sauce. So, again, because it's so approachable, matches a lot of different foods, if I'm totally honest with you.
You like wine.
Sorry?
We like a versatile wine.
Oh, indeed. We can drink more of it then, can't you? I love all three of these wines, I'd hasten to add, but I've got a personal love for Incanter because it was my first Romanian wine that I got into Majestic. It took me, probably about 2 years to persuade them that Romanian wine was a good thing to have. And I'm very grateful that they've carried on going with this wine. It's been in store now for 4 years or so. As I said before, $7.99, again, lighter, a nice light colour to it. $7.99 retail or $5.99 on the buy 6 price.
And Matt, sorry to interrupt, but obviously we've got some lovely Romanian fan out there. And they say, we know that everything which is produced by Cramele Recas is good value, is good quality. So it's a sign that we can't get it wrong. But obviously, Philippe is producing a lot of different brands, and it's hard to remember literally every single product on the market. So how, if a customer, I know that I want for Cramele Recas wine, what do I need to go on the label to see that it's a wine from you guys?
Say that again.
Where do I need to read on the label just to see where it is from Recas? Do I need to go to the back label, perhaps? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, because as you rightly say, we do produce a lot of different labels and a lot of exclusive blends for the various retailers. Obviously, Secorva is exclusive to Waitrose. I'll get it on the screen. But on the bottle around, just down there, it will always say who the producer is, basically. So you can see it's from Recas. So with Incanter, again, slightly different. It's just there. It's bottled by Cramele Recas. And it's a good time to point out that all these wines are vegetarian and vegan, and the labels are going to be showing that on the back label from the next vintage as well.
Very important. Thanks for.
No way. So this one I find very slightly richer than the Secorva. So So a great match for spicy foods, a great match for game, pheasant, that kind of thing, which obviously, you know, we're out of season for that, but come the autumn and come Christmas, it can be on the menu.
Yeah.
Excellent, quite excellent. Oh, I haven't spat it out at all. Chewy fruit, again, brimming with red berries, but slightly spicier on the finish as well. I think it's a great wine, if I'm totally honest with you. Well, I think all of our wines are great, obviously, but it's, this is a personal favourite of mine.
That's so good. Thank you so much, Matt. You were straight to the point. So we've had a great discovery of these wines for Christmas. Some of the magazines following us now already planning obviously their Christmas issue, as we know. For anyone out there who needed some further information on the wine, do DM us at the agency or write a little note on the side. We'll be able to answer at the end. Thank you so much, Matt, for joining us.
My pleasure. See you later. Bye-bye.
She's live. Is she?
Ellie Bradshaw is a Cornish businesswoman supreme. So she conceived Wildlife Botanicals and launched it less than a year ago, and it is being hailed as the champagne of the no and low sector. It's a super sophisticated, low alcohol alternative to, you know, the traditional wines and fizz. And I'll let Ellie take it away. Tell us a bit more about Wildlife, Ellie.
Thank you very much, and great to see you. And greetings from sunny Cornwall. It's glorious. So I don't know about Christmas, but it's absolutely roasting out here. So we launched Wildlife Botanicals in September last year. We did that down in Lyme Regis with celebrated chef Mark Hicks. And it's an ultra low alcohol sparkling wine that we've infused with mood boosting botanicals, minerals and vitamins. It's less than 32 calories a glass. Every single 125ml glass delivers a minimum 15% of your daily reference intake. And so in short, we say bubbles with benefits.
Right. Tastes good and does good as well. Where can you buy it, Ellie? Where's it available?
So you can buy it online and we ship internationally. And we've also just launched with Harvey Nichols. And also organic. So that's where you can actually get it in store, and independent delis up and down the country.
Well done. So everything is going super well in Wildlife. So as we're talking about Christmas, if you were planning a Christmas feast, what would you pair your Wildlife with?
I think that crab is fantastic, especially in the winter. And so anything that's quite rich and creamy, then the Wildlife Botanicals really cuts through richness. So a lovely kind of crab risotto or something like that would be marvelous. And what we're also launching for Christmas is a little kind of cookbook with some recipe ideas with celebrated chef Mark Hicks. So that's going to be available through Clementine Communications within the next few days.
Amazing. We're so excited.
This is so exciting. I have to say, we're thrilled for you. It's such a beautiful case study, and we're so delighted to have been able to help you to launch a year ago. Not even a year ago. It was in September last year, wasn't it? So much done. I know lots of people out there are also into profile pieces, and they'd love to know a little bit about yourself. You are a charismatic entrepreneur. Do you want to tell us in a few words how you started from just a few years back to where you are now?
Okay, thank you. So I've always had a career in hospitality, so always loved food, drink, good wines. And then I met a man who had a wonderful idea for Cornish sea salt. And I think Tony and I often kind of used to recite, you know, he didn't know how to make it and I didn't know if there was a market for it. So literally within 12 months of launching, there's a whole kind of like whole story between getting it actually, you know, from just a drop in the ocean, no pun intended, sorry, to the table. And so that's how we started with Cornish Sea Salt. Very sadly, Tony is no longer in our world, but the brand goes on to be absolutely a strength to strength, and it's now exported, I think, to about 30 different countries. So,
cool, congratulations.
It is amazing. So yeah, Ellie, you mentioned Wildlife launched almost a year ago. Any big birthday celebrations coming up?
Good question.
Any
big birthday celebrations coming up?
Birthday celebrations? Well, quite possibly. Watch this space. There's always any excuse for bubbles, right?
Exactly. Good answer.
Well, we're we're massive fan here, Ellie. So thank you very much for joining us today. Once again, for everyone out there, do keep in touch if you want to speak to Ellie directly. She's on social media, obviously, as well, and we'll be able to provide all the information, put you in touch, and etc. And you sell all of your products on your own website as well.
Yeah, we do. We've got, individually, all the bottles are sold, or they can actually be kind of in their gift wraps, which the artwork for this is being done by local Cornish artist, Sarah Trewella, or people can actually go wild and put the two together, and that's their lovely gift box.
That is so beautiful. Thank you very much, Ellie. Thank you for joining us live again.
Much,
Thanks, Ellie.
We're going to carry on this no-lure category. I think we've discovered this category a few years ago at the agency, and we are massive fan. The next brand that we're welcoming today, the one and only.
Yeah, Small Beer Brew Co. So Small Beer is in production of classic beer styles below 2.8%. And Small Beer is actually London's first B Corp certified brewery. So that means it is recognised as having the highest standards of social and environmental impact. And co-founder James Grundy is here to talk about Small Beer.
Hey, Jay.
Team Clem, what a pleasure.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us. So tell us in a few words, Small Beer, for those who don't know it, what is it?
Small Beer, for those who don't know it, Clem, what is it? We specialise exclusively in classic beer styles below 2.8%. So it's beer for those who love great beer, but just don't want the slowdown, the bleary-eyed consequences, the dusty feeling the morning after. And that is exactly why we do what we do. So actually, I can give you a little spin of the brewery because we're at Brewery HQ right now. How's that look?
Wow.
Your brewery is actually quite different to any other, isn't it? So tell us a little bit about your dry floor policy and your environmental impact.
That's a great question. It's different on a number of levels, actually. So first off, we've actually reworked the entire brewing process to focus on flavor maximization over alcohol creation. Historically, and I don't know if there are any home brewers, or maybe those who've dabbled in a little bit of home brewing on watching this, but they'll know that a really efficient brewing day is taking X amount of grain and creating that into a beer of 8, 9, 10%, maximizing the amount of alcohol that they can extract from their raw ingredients. And we really flipped that thinking on its head. We said, how do we maximize the flavor profiles delivered by each ingredient, but really minimize the alcohol that's being produced throughout the brew? In doing so, we reworked the brewing process. In fact, when we got our kit commissioned, and it was designed by my business partner, Felix, when we had it commissioned for build, they said, you'll never be able to brew beer on this. I said, no, you're right. We won't be able to brew big beer, but we think we can brew the very best small beer that anyone's ever tasted. And it went from there. So small beer, the upper limit is 2.8%. Because at 2.8, the water alcohol content means the body hydrates quicker than it dehydrates. And for those who know their small beer history, it was drunk as the alternative to water through the 16th, 17th, and 1800s, and written about a great deal by Shakespeare and by Dickens. And at that time, you drink it for hydration and for nutrition. And that 2.8 is the magic number, because above that, the alcohol water content means alcohol is diuretic, but below 2.8%, you hydrate quicker than you dehydrate. And that's why that upper limit was originally set. But about the brewery itself, you're right. So we run the country's only entirely dry floor brewery. That means we don't use, you'll never see the brewers in wellies with a squeegee in one hand and a hose in the other. We don't put hundreds of gallons of water onto the floor a day and move spent grain around. And it's one of the ways that we've dramatically reduced our water usage here at the brewery. The industry standard for beer is 8 to 10 pints of water to brew a single pint of beer. Interestingly, we've actually managed to cut that down to just 1.5 pints of water per pint of beer brewed. And our dry floor policy contributes to that in a big, big way. Also, the way that the kit has been designed to recapture, recycle, and recirculate the water that we do use. So it's a great question.
Yeah, certainly. And we actually have a collection of your beers here. The Christmas gift pack, but it's actually available all year round, isn't it? So I'll let you talk through this little gift pack here. So we've got 4 of your beer styles.
Fabulous. 4 of our finest, and they're all still closed. You've not broken into them yet.
No, not yet.
Soon, I hope.
Soon, yeah.
So our gift pack is a tasting along the malt spectrum, and it's fabulous. So it's a tasting of our entire range. So our Pilsner style lager, our session pale, our steam, the amber, and our dark lager. I'll give you just 20 seconds on each. So our lager is a classic Pilsner style, defined by the use of the Czech hop sart, which gives it a beautiful floral nose, but a wonderful continental bite on the finish. Very clean, very crisp, very fresh. It's a lager that's been genuinely lagered. To lager being the German for to store, and lagering, this aging, this incredible maturation period that a beer gets after fermentation, once the yeast has converted all the fermentable sugars into alcohol. And for brewing efficiency, that time period has just been shortened and shrunken and over many years now. We've extended that, we've increased that, and we give our beer a minimum of 6 weeks in vessel over an industry standard of 2 to 3 days. And we believe it's what gives it its very pronounced, very well-defined flavor profiles and indeed aromas at a very sociable strength. It's a very clean, crisp, like beautiful, beautiful beer. And then the session pale, as you'd imagine, they were brewed to travel. They were packed full of hops, pale ales, hops and beer acting as that natural form of preservative. And it's, you'll get that. You'll get those juicy, tropical, lychee, mandarin, grapefruit, hoppy notes. But it's balanced for a pale ale, really, really balanced. As the sun is coming through the brewery skylights today, it's a real sunshine beer, the pale ale. Steam beer, amber, rich red rye beer. Steam beer is a fusion style beer. It bridges the gap between a lager and an ale. It has the richness of an ale. Felix. 2 seconds. Felix, there's a bit of keg action just on the bar. Working brewery. It has the richness of an ale, but really the refreshment of a lager. And it's a great sight.
Listening to your dulcet.
I won't show you, but it's an amusing one. And it's a fabulous beer. So if you like your IPAs, if you like your cask beers, and that you like that rich character, but you still want the refreshment of a lager, it's a lovely go-to. It's one of my favorite styles. And then dark lager, 1%, nothing like it in the world. Again, stout porter-esque on the nose, coffee, toast, dark chocolate, this little wisp of smokiness, and this lovely light lagered finish. You're right. It's a Christmas feature. It's no doubt of that, and it is one that we ship obviously directly from the brewery with a little personalized name card. Very, very giftable, and a wonderful step into the world of small beer, and it gives you an opportunity to taste through the range and very much taste along the malt spectrum there.
And I have to say, we do order your beer as clients as well. And you have the most amazing delivery parcel where you sort of handwrite a little note to every single customer to wish them well and enjoy and tell them a bit more about the product. It's the bespoke and the care for every single client. Awesome.
Thank you. It comes with a couple of beer mats to house one's beer upon, a little gift note from the team, and actually a great deal of information on it as well. Tells a little bit about the production methodology, but hopefully once things are back open, we'll also then be able to share that production methodology in person here at the brewery for people as well.
Exactly. Thank you so much, James, for joining us.
Pleasure.
We've got a lot of questions. We'll pass them on to you after that, but it's very informative. This is all about the Christmas offering and what you're doing at the moment. It's spot on. Thanks so much for joining us live.
Clem, might I share one more? Clem, would that be okay?
We'll give you that moment. Yeah.
Is that okay? This is one we're really, really excited about as well. Thank you. I promise this will take not but 30 seconds. So the second part of our Christmas offering is a 6-month gift subscription. Okay, it's a £120 package, and as part of that, month 1, and this lands with you for December. mid-December to go under the Christmas tree with 2 branded glasses, and that is then gifted to the recipient with what they can then expect for the following 5 months. Month 2 is a 6-pack of our lager with beautiful tasting notes that come wrapped up in that. Month 3 is our session pale. Month 4 is our steam. Month 5 is our dark lager. Month 6 is a 5-liter keg of your choice. So the recipient can go online, pick their favorite, and that gets shipped out to finish off your 6-month small beer gift experience.
Well,
Love
James.
Very, very excited about that. So I appreciate you giving me 30 seconds to share that.
It was worth it.
That's our big one alongside our beautiful gift pack for Christmas.
Awesome. Thank you so much, James, and we'll see you very soon.
Guys,
Moving on
care.
to our lovely next guest today. Oh, you see my phone there. It's brilliant. Moving on to a category which is not known by many, that we've learned to discover recently and we absolutely adore. That's the CBD category. And Cass, can you introduce our new guest?
Absolutely. So we are about to hear from the revolutionary, innovative and disruptive Gibson's Goodology team. For those unfamiliar with CBD, now is your chance to hear what it's all about and how Gibson's Goodology differs from other CBD drinks currently on the market. Let me pass you on to their brilliant team, Jen Hudster, a Gibson's Goodology team member, and Dan Rowland, another fantastic member of the team, handling cannabis regulation, as well as being a policy expert. Over to you guys.
Thanks so much, Team Clementine. It's great to speak with you today. We are getting ready to launch Gibson's Goodology next month, so this is just such an opportune time to get to share with you what we're about.
Thank you. Looking forward to hearing it all.
So, and just to say, I don't know if there's a freeze, but there's a bit of a delay on my end. Sorry about that. Yeah, we've been working tirelessly for 18 months to really perfect our liquid and get the CBD right. And so we think we've created something really special.
Great. So tell us more about what is Gibson, what is Gibson and how does the name mean anything? Tell us everything that we don't know.
Yeah, I love to. So Gibson is an homage to our founder, Dave Gibson. He has just this very infectious, positive energy and outlook and in life and wants to bring out the best in people. And so we describe that as Goodology, and it's Gibson's Goodology. But the reason you're not seeing him here today is he is at our factory or production at Hereford, working away. He's really hands-on, as well as we don't want the brand to be assigned just to Dave Gibson, the founder. It's something, Goodology is something that we all share. It's a collective, and we can have our own interpretations of it as well. But what does Goodology actually mean? We just have this irrepressible belief in the power of human goodness and in the potential of people. And we also have, as part of that, we have a fundamental belief in the restorative harmony of CBD, and that CBD can help each of us turn up better. And by turning up better in our daily lives, we think we can make the world a bit better as well.
For sure. And are they alcoholic drinks, Jen? How does it work?
No, they are completely on the opposite end of the spectrum. It is a mocktail. It is no-low. I think what makes our drink, so we've taken the artisanal, very perfectionist approach to our mixology. We've worked with Oscar Kinsberg, one of the leading drinks mixologists in London, as well as Stefan Gischke, who is a leading tea expert in the world, to create some really beautiful fusions, which I will show you. So we've really taken a perfectionist approach. Like I said, it's taken us 18 months to really get it right. But we want a drink that's delicious and stands on its own right. As I said, it is alcohol. It has zero alcohol. The key, I think, feature to it is the 25 milligrams of CBD, which is the highest dosage on the market. And Dan can talk to you a bit about our CBD.
So good, you can feel it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Would it be a good time for me to talk about the CBD element of the drink?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. So obviously, there's a lot of buzz around cannabidiol or CBD, and there's a lot of infused products coming to market. So, for those that don't know, CBD is one of the more than 100 naturally occurring cannabinoid compounds that is found in the cannabis plant. It's a phytocannabinoid, so it's a plant-based cannabinoid that interacts with the body's naturally occurring system of endocannabinoids. So we utilize strictly hemp-derived CBD isolate in our drinks. So what that means is that it is extracted from the hemp plant, and it's isolated to remove any of the other cannabinoids, terpenes, or anything else that might be present in the plant. So we isolate that CBD compound. What CBD does is it unlocks the body's natural processes to regulate certain functions. So we all have, our bodies all naturally try to fight off things like inflammation, stress, seizures, muscle spasms, generalized anxiety, that kind of thing. CBD attaches to those receptors inside our body's endocannabinoid system to help the body more efficiently regulate itself. And that increased efficiency kind of highlights CBD's ability to promote kind of overall homeostasis or balance and overall wellness, which we, tie directly into our Goodology and our ability, as Jen says, to kind of turn up better. So we have developed over a long period of time a unique emulsion system that is specifically tailored for liquid beverage applications. And that's something I really want to highlight, because this is not easy. You don't just take CBD powder and dump it into a drink, stir it up and send it out. It is very, very difficult to suspend the CBD molecule into a liquid formulation where it is stable, where it's homogeneous, where it doesn't coagulate, settle, where it doesn't lose potency. We've worked incredibly hard to create, for our customers, a high quality CBD product, the potency and homogeneity of which is preserved throughout our production process. So, we're just incredibly happy with the flavors overall, the 5 sort of premium all natural ingredients that we use. It's a simple yet elegant drink, and it has the most and highest quality CBD on the market.
Fantastic. And what is your Christmas offering? What sort of cans are available right now?
Yeah, so thank you. As I said, we are working in the final weeks to launch next month. What we would say as for Christmas offering, the current offering that we've got are these 3 cans over my shoulder. The first one being shiso tea and blueberry. And I think what makes this one so delicious is you've got the grassiness, the nuttiness, and the kind of the zest of the shiso with really clean blueberry finish. And for the wine drinkers out there, we have a blueberry puree that we use in this drink. So there's a bit of a viscosity and a slight sediment that we find our wine drinkers really enjoy. Next up, we've got jasmine tea and rhubarb. And in the team, we kind of joke that these are like our babies. And I know you're not supposed to choose a favorite of your children. But I have to say that I think this is probably my favorite one. There's a real floral and fragrant quality to the jasmine, but it's quite subtle. Then you mix that with the gentleness of the rhubarb. Like I said, we've worked with the best mixologists and tea makers from around the world to pull this one together. And then finally, and that's the one I'm going to drink right now, it's our green tea and passion fruit. And I'm drinking this one because I need a bit more of a caffeine kick. But it's green tea, and you've got the tropical passion fruit, so you've got notes of pineapple and rose, which is just delicious. So I'll go ahead and pour it.
Can't wait to try.
I'm jealous. You can pour one.
That's what made it all happen suddenly. Here. Oh, thank you very much. At the moment, I guess in the UK market, Jen and Dan, you are working with a distributor called Berkman Wine Cellar, I believe, which I've just taken on your product on board, that will be distributing it on the on-trade, but also are you looking at the off-trade, I guess. So it's the start for you guys, isn't it?
Yes, and Berkman have really been a dream partner and have invested in us in every sense of the way. So to start, and where you can find us and working with Berkman, and we're going to be announcing the outlets in the coming weeks, but all the places that Berkman has really strong relationships with in the London market, your top bars and restaurants, you'll be able to get a Gibson's there. We're looking at premium organic grocers, so you'll be able to find us there, as well as wellness, fitness, and lifestyle locations, obviously, when we're able to start going to those on Saturday. And then finally, you can go to our website, GibsonsGoodology.com, where you can find, you can buy our drinks direct. I think one final point that I would make is that we have a lot of new product development coming down the pipeline. So while we have these 3 beautiful babies here right now, we are looking to have some really other interesting products available come Christmas time. And I think we've already heard today from all the interesting Christmas packages that will be available. I think I would say that our drink is a great antidote perhaps to some of the more alcoholic, boozy things. I think like any Christmas period, there's usually a lot of stress and anxiety, and CBD, as Dan already mentioned, can help deal with that. And also, we think our drinks will set you up really well when those New Year's resolutions come around.
That's so good. And Jen, what's the recommendation in terms of, do you recommend people to drink that as an aperitif, with food, as a digestive? What sort of drinks is it?
Yeah, so the wonderful thing about this drink is it's so versatile. So you can kickstart your morning with the more caffeinated green tea, but you can drink any of our drinks throughout the day, whether as a replacement for sugary sodas. It can be a beautiful mocktail in the evening. If you go for a run and you need to rehydrate, it also is a great sort of after sports recovery drink. So it really is just so versatile and can carry you through your day.
Oh my gosh, we are so thrilled. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Sorry for the lagging in the camera. I'm glad you carried on. Thank you so much. It's very good. And I guess, Dan, have you got anything to add? So I think you've said it all, but is there anything about the category that you'd like to add to this conversation?
Well, sure. I mean, I guess personally, I've been involved in the cannabis space for coming on 10 years now, and I obviously biased, but I have never tasted anything like this. CBD infused food and beverage products, as I said, are hard to get right. There's not a ton of quality. There's not a ton of premium ingredients that go into it. You see a lot of seltzers and things like that. This is something that is exciting, and when you taste it, you feel like you're having a premium experience, which heretofore has not been found with CBD-infused products.
We are slightly excited. Sorry,
Yeah.
we're buzzing trying things. So no, really, thank you so much to both of you for joining us live today. And good luck with it all, and I'm sure we'll carry on talking to you for a very long time. So thanks again, Jen and Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to our last guest of this long series. We're closing to an hour. This will stay on YouTube forever, so hopefully you can watch again at your own leisure. Welcome today. We're excited to introduce award-winning chef Sarah Stodula and Tony C.
Hi, Clementine. How are you?
You will recognize this lovely face from the series, the Spicemen on TV a few years ago. They are back together, and I am so excited about it. Joining us both, thank you for joining us both actually today. We wanted to chat to you because there's loads of news, and you have been watching your first series on TV a couple of years ago, and I thought the Spicemen was the best food series out there. So what's new? Sarah, we'll start with you. What's happening with the Spicemen?
I mean, both of us have been discussing for a long time that we need to get together, do more things. So in the past few years, we've been doing various food shows and, going to different food shows across the country and doing a joint act. But we never really got together and put something more serious on the plans. So now the whole plan is that we do want to get together, do some more dinners, do some more evenings, do some more Spicemen fun, of course. And the whole idea is maybe to go around the country again and explore all those bits we could not explore and help the farming community or the fishing community or whatever to make their products better known to the British public, as well as to spice things up, because that's what we were after, spicing up Britain, and that's what we want to do, spice up Britain again. And the whole idea is to get together and have as much fun as possible, make people laugh with us, because that's what we do. We enjoy what we do. And the whole idea is to add some more fun to it and come together. So the Spicemen are back. Instagram page is back up and running now, I think, hopefully, fingers crossed. Websites we are working on, with your help, of course. And then we have got some dates in the diary for a couple of dinners to come. And that will put a good start on the program.
Very good.
Like Cyrus was saying, we've been doing things in the past. Now I think the whole profile of cooking at home with the lockdown and everything, people are more open to cook at home. And the best thing with all of British produce is spice. You know what I mean? Spice makes the world go round. We'll be putting things up on our Instagram page, the Spicemen. We've got a web page coming up as well. Like Cyrus said, we've got a couple of secret suppers coming up down at Cafe Spice on a Must Day. We'll be doing more things. We've got ideas for other productions to go around the UK to see the amazing artisan producers, the farmers who.
Tony,
he's gone.
We'll have to tag team once again, Cyrus. We've lost Tony.
That's all right. People are scared of spice, and they shouldn't be. Spice is fun. Spice is colour. Spice is drama, and that's what we want to bring it to people. Get them to get grips with it. Everybody thinks spice is chili. It's not. It's everything from vanilla to nutmeg to cloves to cinnamon. It's just everywhere. It's wonderful.
So that's the whole idea. That is the whole idea. Is to take the fear away from people.
Let's not interrupt Cyrus when he speaks. I know that for many years, and I still do it. Okay, Cyrus,
you can interrupt me, no problem. I'm used to it. That's okay.
We need a green and a red card if you're talking.
I know. I have to raise my hand. I'm going to raise my hand when I have a question. So I have a question. Tony, you were saying, for those, to make it super clear, so obviously you're back on social media, and the handle to follow you on Instagram and Facebook is at the.spiceman. Am I?
That's right. Yeah. No, it's at the Spicemen.
At the Spiceman. Fabulous. Great. And for Christmas, guys, I know it's a long time away, perhaps, in your industry, because obviously in the food you sort of plan with fresh seasonal products. But I know you both have a restaurant, Cyrus in London, Tony, you're in Edinburgh. Is there any sort of quirky things that you're planning?
Well, we've got some Christmas recipes, because this is what we're looking at going forward. But one of the things that me and Cyrus are passionate about is love food and hate waste. So I've got a couple of recipes coming up. Turkey and egg noodle broth. Use up leftovers of your roast turkey, and we've got a lovely mulled cheese wine cheesecake as well. So you've got the mulled wine. If there's any left, you can make a cheesecake out of it as well. But I would make double the recipe, because the mulled wine is fantastic.
Yeah, we'll keep posting recipes regularly if we can. The idea would be to plan another book as well. So in case something comes up and a TV series comes up and somebody does want us back, then the whole idea would be to have a book ready. By the time, last time when we did the TV series, we actually did the book on the run. So while we were going from place to place and filming, we were doing recipes at the same time. We just didn't have the time, because the recipes had to be ready at the time the program was ready. It was a very big push on us. But I think at the moment, the ideas are there. I've been talking to Tony that we should start compiling recipes ourselves regularly, and then bringing them together, so that by the time a few months go, we can have quite a few recipes ready, so that when the time comes, a new book is ready.
Yeah.
I'm looking at different parts of Britain, because since the time the Spicemen was finished, my involvement with various other committees has increased a lot. And I have done a few videos for the Shellfish Association, for the Marine Conservation Society, etc. And I think we need to combine that together between the both of us and work together to highlight these great gems of Britain. And just to make sure that the British public is more tuned in now, as he needs it more now. So we need it more and more for them to understand the wealth of British produce, and how we can jazz it up or spice it up to make it more acceptable for everybody.
And we're looking at ready meals, chutneys and sauces as well. Cyrus has got his own range, but we're looking at the Spicemen range as well.
Did you say Chinese sausages, chef?
Not sausages, chef. Hearing aid.
There we go. Just one thing, Cyrus, and actually Tony, I'm sure will concur, but there's something I remember from you years ago when I went to your restaurant and I made the mistake to say, I'm going for a curry. And I think in this country, there's a mix up between I'm going for a curry takeaway and thinking that it's Indian food. But I guess it's not. And it's very interesting, isn't it? So you can finish on that.
Shall I do it very, very short? I won't make it long.
I will be amazed.
I'll make it short because curry has become such a word that the British use for everything that represents Indian food that the Indians get confused. The British are never confused because the British still think everything the word curry represents is Indian. It's not. Curry is a sauce. It is a sauce that is made with coconut milk. And that is what the Thai do, the Indonesians do, the Malaysians do, the Burmese do. It's an Indian word that went from South India across to the Far East. So curry is something that's cooked in a lot of sauce, predominantly made with coconut milk. Okay. That's the definition. But yes, the word spice and the word chili again are confused. So when people comment, I don't like my food spicy, and this happened last Saturday. I was talking to a group of people in the restaurant, and they said, we don't eat spicy food. I said, what do you mean don't eat spicy food? You eat cardamom, you eat nutmeg, you eat cinnamon, you eat cloves in your puddings and desserts. And says, yeah, but we don't like it. I said, no, you mean the chili is what is your problem. Yeah. So this is what we are trying to educate people as well. There's the chili, you keep it separate from the spices, which are color, flavor, and zest. It's all about excitement. Whereas chili can take you up to the roof and bring you back down in a second.
I think more and more people are understanding the regionality of Indian food, from the north to the south, the different weathers, the different traditions. The coastline of Indians for vegetarians. There's over 6,000 miles of Indian coastline, so we eat a lot of fish as well. And there's different traditions there that eat beef, that eat pork, and vegetarianism, veganism. There's all that, and I think now slowly people are understanding. It was like Italian food in the 80s. People thought spaghetti bolognese and lasagna, and then all of a sudden slowly changed from North Italian to the middle to the south, from Tuscan to Sicilian. It's there, it's coming. People have an appetite for the exotic, and India given.
Rats and snakes also in India.
Yeah, chefs always said it'll take you 2 lifetimes to understand Indian food.
Yeah,
all you just want to try ours. So come, try our food.
Yeah, Joe, exactly. Well, this is a really nice way to finish. So please, everybody, log on to the new social media channel for Cyrus Anthony, Spicemen. You will follow all of their story, the new recipe, and hopefully we'll longing for a new TV series or book. You guys are absolutely geniuses together. So fingers crossed, things will perk up really quickly in the coming few months. Many thanks for joining us both today.
Pleasure.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. And I think this is it from us. My gosh, this hour has just gone past a little far too quick. I had a little speech to say goodbye, but just thank you. Thank you very much for joining us today. As again, sorry, I'm going wild, but thank you for joining us. Thank you for the 7 brands. We will make sure to add a file attached to this video with all of the press release, the price, and all the products that we've been discussing during this past hour. And please get in touch with us. And I guess the Christmas tree behind, let's celebrate. This is Christmas, guys.
Christmas.
So we have a little toast to cheer everyone. The rest of the team is coming. We've got the Christmas tree there, and we're just going to wish a little bit ahead of time a very Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Bye, everyone. No, we're still live. Still live. Brilliant.